Hi, Algebra students. This is Mrs. Turner. So sorry I am not in class today. I unexpectedly found out yesterday that my youngest is sick, so I had to keep him home today. So last night I put this video together just so that we could keep going, and that you could use class time today to still do what we were going to do, which is looking at how to solve absolute value equations. So our goal today is to look at equations that have absolute value expressions in them. So what is absolute value? So you should be following along in your guided notes. So absolute value, you're going to write down the definition here. And feel free to pause this video. So I'm not going to take long breaks for you to write, but just feel free to pause it so you can write it and then hit play again if you need to rewind. Do what you got to do, okay? So absolute value is the number's distance from 0 on a number line. So the key word there is distance, okay? Distance from 0. So when we're talking about distance, we're always talking about a positive value, right? There's no such thing as negative distance. So when you look at something like this, okay, this is absolute value of x equals 6. All right, oops, let me erase that. All right, so those vertical bars next to the x, those are absolute value bars. So what this is implying is that it's saying that the distance from x to 0 on a number line is equal to 6. And there's always going to be two possible cases, right? Because if you look at, the number line here, okay, here's 0. What two numbers have a distance of 6 from 0? Well, kind of most obvious, right, is positive 6, right? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that distance from 0 to 6 is 6. But what about if you go 6 units left? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're going to land at negative 6. Okay? We don't say that negative 6 is negative 6 units from 0. It's a positive 6 units. It's just in a different direction. So for absolute value of x equals 6, to solve for x, you're asking yourself, okay, so what's the number x can be? That's 6 units from 0. Well, it could be 6 or it could be negative 6. So there's actually two different solutions for x. Okay, so that's absolute value. So when you're solving absolute value equations, you want to follow these 3 steps. So first, you want to isolate the absolute value. And isolate means just to get something all alone. For example, like up here, we would say that the absolute value of x, that's isolated on the left. It's by itself on the left. There's no other numbers, variables, nothing. Nothing else is with it. It's just absolute value of x is all by itself. So that's the goal. First, get that by itself. Then you break it apart into the two cases. There's the positive case and the negative case. Okay. So I'm actually going to add that next to number 2. So consider your two cases, both your positive and negative. And then check both solutions. All right, so let's go through examples to see what this all means. So example 1, the absolute value of x equals 4. And you can think about this on the number line like we did before, or think about our 3 steps. So first we need to isolate the absolute value, which is already isolated, right, on the left. So then you just have to think about your two different cases. So think about your positive case and your negative case. So the first one would be, whoops, I don't want those absolute value bars. So the first one would be the positive 4, and the second one would be a negative 4. So you take whatever's on the right-hand side there. One is positive, one is negative. Okay? So there's our two solutions, but let's check. This one's pretty simple. We go back to the original, plug in 4 for x. Is the absolute value of 4 4? Yeah, because 4 is 4 units away from 0. And then how about -4? Is the absolute value of -4 4? Yes, okay, because -4 is also 4 units away from 0. Also, another way to think about it is the absolute value bars. Whatever is inside the absolute value is going to come out positive, right? So the negative in there comes out positive. If it's positive, it just comes out as itself, okay? So that one, you have your two options for your two possible solutions. We checked them out, they both work. All right, now we're going to add some layers here. So example 2, notice the absolute value of m is not isolated on the left. So what you want to do is think about this if you didn't have absolute value bars. If it was just -4m equals -44, how would you get m by itself? You divide by -4, right? So we're still using inverse operations. So you're going to do the same thing, but now you're going to have absolute value bars. So divide both sides by -4, and then bring down absolute value of m, and then divide on the right, so -44 divided by -4 is 11. All right, so there's our first step. Then you can break it into the two cases, where on the right-hand side, 11, one option is it's going to be positive. The other possible solution is it's going to be negative. So there's our two answers, and let's check. So go back to the original, -4 absolute value. Let's try positive 11. And if you don't know where the absolute value bars in your calculator, we'll take a look at that next class too, because that's helpful. So remember, absolute value just brings out that positive number. So this is -4 times a positive 11. Is that -44? Yes. All right, -44 equals -44. Now let's try checking our second case here. So plug in -11 in the absolute value bar for m. Okay, so checking, I'm always going back to this original problem, right? All right, so what is the absolute value of -11? It's positive 11. -4 times 11, -44 equals -44. Check. So both of those solutions are good. They both work. Okay. All right, example 3. So here we have the absolute value of f divided by 7. So it's not isolated by itself. We have this division by 7. So to get rid of that 7, the inverse operation of division is multiplication. So we're going to multiply both sides by 7. So now we have absolute value of f by itself equals 56. Once we get it down to that, okay, isolated the absolute value on the left. Now we split it into the two cases, where on the one case, 56 is positive. The other case, the 56 is negative. And notice my absolute value bars, they disappeared during this step, okay? Because that's applying what the absolute value means. It's either you have a positive distance of 56 or in the positive direction, or distance of 56 in the negative direction. All right, so then let's go back and check. So let's check our first positive 56 into the absolute value for f. Okay, positive or absolute value of 56 is 56. 56 divided by 7 is 8. Yep. Now let's plug in -56 back in for f. Well, absolute value of -56 is also 56, and 56 divided by 7 is 8. All right, remember, you can pause, go back if you need to see these again. All right, now we're going to just add add more steps, okay? So with example 4, when we say we want to isolate the absolute value, this time, so think of it as absolute value and everything in the absolute value. So we want to get h minus 2 by itself. And then you'll see what happens from there, okay? So we want to get absolute value of h minus 2 by itself. So don't let that throw you off that there's a minus 2 in there. So we need to get rid of this negative out front. We need to get rid of divided by 4. So first thing is to get rid of that division by 4. Okay, so multiply both sides by 4. Bring down negative absolute value, h minus 2. And then negative 9 times 4 is 36. And then this negative out front. Remember, anytime we see a negative in front of like a variable, in front of parentheses, you can think of it as a negative 1. Okay, even though we don't write the 1, it's negative 1 times the absolute value of h minus 2. So we're going to divide both sides by negative 1. So then the absolute value of h minus 2 equals positive 36. Okay, that's our first step right there. That's isolating the absolute value. Then from here, we can, so rewrite it up here. From here, we can break it into our two cases. So here I'm on step 2. So I'm going to drop the absolute value bars, and then that 36 is going to be positive for case number 1. And then drop the absolute value bars and make 36 negative for my second case here. And then now I just have two equations that I'm solving for h. So I'm adding 2 to both sides. So one option for h is I get 38. Then in my second equation, I get negative 34. Okay. And then to check, I'm just going to do it small over here. Go back to the original problem. I'm going to plug in 38 for h, and then plug in negative 34 for h. So if I plug in 38, I get negative and then absolute value 36 all over 4 equals negative 9. And then let's bring it up here. Negative, and then what is the absolute value of 36? It's 6. I'm sorry, 36. Oops. Thinking of square root, and then divided by 4 equals negative 9. Is negative 36 divided by 4 negative 9? Yeah. So 38 checks out. I'm going to go up here and check, what do we do? Negative 34. So negative absolute value, negative 34 minus 2 all over 4 equals negative 9. When you're doing the order of operations, I didn't mention this yet, but parentheses, absolute value, you can also think about that as like a parentheses. It's a grouping symbol. So in order of operations, parentheses really is just saying any grouping symbol. So inside the absolute value, we get negative 36 this time. So then bring the negative sign down. Absolute value of negative 36 is positive 36. And then that negative out front, negative 36 divided by 4 is negative 9. So both answers are our solution. So h equals 38 and also h equals, negative 34. All right, this video, the time is about to run out, so I'm going to stop here. Go back to Blackboard. There's going to be a part 2 to finish up the notes.